No,
Yeah.
Mom, if you know her, like her brain doesn't stop like going, and like the ideas don't stop flowing. So like at Quilt Market, I'll be so exhausted, and she's just like, "What about this? What about this? What about this 2027 for 2027?" And I'm like, like I can't. I have to. My brain can't think that far ahead. So. Okay, so this is, I showed you guys Miss Magnolia and the Strawberry Lemonade collection. This is the original pattern that it was inspired by. It was my Magnolia quilt, and designed this in Seashore Drive. And just, I love the smaller version too. I think it shows off a lot of prints and a lot of color and just a lot of fun. So yeah. One of my favorite quilts.
And these blocks are 16 inches. The quilt is 74 inches, but we do have some questions on the Magnolia and the Miss Magnolia. So before we move quilts, Jeannie wants to know, she's making the Miss Magnolia quilt that has the bigger blocks, and she notices that in your Magnolia pattern that Billy's holding, there's 9 patches as cornerstones. Would you be able to add that easily to Miss Magnolia?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, totally. So she totally could. Yeah. And actually that's really funny. That's a really great question, because when I had originally designed, when I was designing Miss Magnolia, I did originally have that in there. And then I thought, this quilt is already so big, I'm just gonna like take this out. And so that's the reason why.
So if you look at it, I think what they would do is just add a square right here in the corner, and that's what would create that, right?
Yep. And each block, she could just add the cornerstones up at the top, each corner. Yeah, so it would definitely change a little bit her piecing, but she could add that, and just one square in each corner.
And do you think this pattern, either one of them, are beginner friendly?
Yes, 100%. And I love this pattern because, again, like just the graphics, it just shows it so perfectly. Totally beginner friendly. The technique used in there is beginner friendly, very beginner friendly. Yeah.
I think a lot of your stuff is beginner friendly and very approachable, because you write it with pre-cuts and because you put your patterns in color.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think coming from someone who started quilting later in life, I do gravitate towards beginner friendly, because I feel like my journey didn't start that long ago. And so that's where I'm comfortable too.
And I also feel like, we're busy, we're moms, we have kids, we need something that you can do and actually achieve.
Definitely.
Okay, so Billy just brought in my summer fun. It's called the Summer Fun Block of the Month, but it doesn't have to be a block of the month. And it's in our Seashore Drive collection. I was getting quilts out of the cupboard last night, and I thought I have to share this one because I didn't have a quilt in Seashore Drive, and I love that collection. So.
And that one's 57 by 72 and fat eighth friendly.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess now he's on the stack of my quilts. So
yeah, so all these quilts.
It's hard to choose your favorites.
Yeah, the quilts are a combination of Sherri's quilts. Some of them are published by Sherri, some of them are published by Chelsi. You can find all of them on their Etsy sites or Fat Quarter Shop, and we sell them as paper patterns and PDF patterns for everyone wanting to know where to find them.
I love this one. Love this one.
Oh yeah, when you reached out and asked us to share some of our favorites, this had to be on the list. Yeah. This is Maple Sky, and it's actually Maple Sky Remix because there is a mini that I added to the pattern that's included. And this is Bountiful Blooms, and I just love this. You can tell some of the leaves have our low volume prints from the collection as the backgrounds, some of the larger leaves, and This is one of my favorites for sure.
It's one of my favorites.
So yeah.
So the throw is 62 by 76 and fat quarter friendly, and then the mini quilt is 21 inches square and layer cake friendly.
And that was one of my favorite prints from Bountiful Blooms on the back, just a fun floral. Okay.
Yeah, so you guys have to start thinking of what's your favorite so that at the end we can kind of read off some of your
At the
guys'
end?
favorite. I mean, I don't know how y'all are going to
The
pick.
very
That's so hard for me.
That's hard.
Because I get so excited when I design new quilts, like especially for a new collection. I love them all. Oh, this is a favorite too. I love so many of your quilts.
This one has been a favorite, and I've actually really loved seeing other people make it in different collections. But this is Coastal, and it was in American Patchwork and Quilting a few years ago. And just little stars, they're actually set on point. And this is our Balboa collection.
So do you want to trace like the blocks so they can see the low volume print where that is, where your sashing is?
Oh,
So they can
yeah,
see.
so these alternating blocks are the low volume print that I just used the whole thing throughout, and then there's star blocks, and then sashing and posts.
So we do have people asking, like, what do you two consider to be low volume prints?
I think if it's not going to absolutely overwhelm,
Yeah.
then I'll consider it a low volume. If it's soft enough to not overwhelm the quilt.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So
Because if not, I just consider it a print. If it's so busy that I just see color,
yeah.
then yeah.
Yeah, oh, and I did a darker background too.
Oh my goodness.
And it's 67 inches square and layer cake friendly. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure I get everything in there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's good. Informative is better. So.
Yeah. And we can't, I'm glad you have all the measurements.
I
'cause
know.
We can't keep it in our heads.
Yeah.
So.
So somebody's wanting to know, what is the Quilting Life Academy?
Oh, we're starting on Monday, actually. I just released an online course.
Oh,
So
okay.
all the way from very beginning, it's a 6-week course, and we do start on Monday. So really excited about that.
I want to mention it's full.
So yeah, we're gonna have a waiting list though, and run another session in the summer.
Okay.
So
Billy
this
said it's
quilt.
full.
Yeah, he's the one that's been helping me get all the videos ready. But this quilt is called Mahalo, and I made a different version of this quilt that was in American Patchwork and Quilting. And then when our Desert Bloom collection came out, I had to remake it again in our fabrics. And it's actually based on a quilt that my great-great-grandmother did. Her blocks were a little bit smaller, and my grandmother gave me the quilt, and it was just in shambles, just falling apart. And I did a lot of research and found out where she got the pattern in the 1930s. But when I recreated it, I made it bigger so that you could use charm packs. But I would say this is definitely an intermediate quilt. It's really not beginner friendly, but it is a lot of fun if you're an intermediate quilter.
So it's 66 inches square,
Yes.
uses a layer cake and 2 charm packs. So how are you doing, is that curved piecing, or how do you?
It is curved piecing, yeah. And I hand appliqued one of my versions.
Okay.
The first version I actually did by hand, and this one I did by machine.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah. So, and then I also, there's a template for the wedges that you can use. So it actually, the cutting is super easy. It's just getting those wedges lined up that is more of a challenge. Yeah.
And I love that backing
And
print.
that-
I remember that one.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that was one of my favorite prints from that collection.
Desert Bloom was kind of like a pivotal moment for us. We really changed. That's when our design started to change, and so I love that collection.
I feel like it was kind of a bridge between our early collections and then what was coming.
I like that word,
A bridge.
I like it.
Yeah. So, okay. Yeah, we both love row quilts. So this is Family Farm, and I just kind of made it as an homage to a lot of my family is from Iowa, and so I kind of was thinking of my grandmother too and some of her favorite blocks when I made this quilt. Maybe lower it down a little bit. Even a little, There's Ohio stars at the top, flying geese, patchwork, flowers, just a little bit of everything that I love in this quilt.
That one's 45 by 54, fat eighth friendly. I would say beginner friendly, and it features the Harper's Garden collection. So this one's from 2019.
Yes. Yeah, and it's still a favorite. It's one that I like to hang up in my sewing room seasonally, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And love that one.
We love them all. Every single one. We're like, I love that one.
It was hard. Getting all the quilts out of the quilt closet last night. I just kept thinking of more that I could have put in the pile, and I had to force myself to leave them in the closet.
Yeah, and I think it's always fun to get out old quilts because it brings back memories of when you made the quilt and what inspired the quilt. And like that last one, I think was a Moda boxed kit. You know, you just kind of go back in time and think about all the things so they bring so many good memories.
Yeah, this one is also from Harper's Garden.
Yeah.
And vintage charm. And this has been a really people have really liked this pattern. And I actually just revised it and put it into a booklet format too to make it easier for my printing. But this is just Ohio stars and that traditional chain, and I've just loved this. I've taught this in classes several times, and I always love seeing the fabrics that the students pick for their quilt.
And I think this one would be great even if you took the sashing out, and then it would just like create these big circles. Like it would create even more circles if you took the sashing out.
Yes.
So, and it's fat eighth friendly and 63 inches square.
Yeah. Yeah, Harper's Garden, I've come to find that all the quilts that I made with that collection have been some of my favorites.
Yeah.
Okay, and I can't remember what I used on the back. Oh.
The aqua and the navy are so good from that collection.
Yes, agreed.
Yes.
Oh, and then Billy, they say you have to pick a favorite quilt too, so we have to make sure he
Billy,
answers too.
Okay, they want you to tell us what your favorite quilt is. He laughed.
He just laughed.
Oh, he wants to know if it has to be one of our patterns.
Oh,
wow.
Okay.
Ask him if he wants to get paid.
Oh, Kevin said, ask you if you want to get paid. Oh my gosh.
Sorry, I can be kind of honorary sometimes.
That's great.
That was perfect.
Oh, another medallion.
Oh, this was my first medallion quilt that I did.
This one?
Yeah, it's good either way. And
I love Summer Sweet.
This is Gelato with our Summer Sweet collection. And this was my first attempt at a medallion, and I just actually really love this quilt.
I love that one.
I love churn dash. I love the skinny churn dash blocks, and I love stars. You definitely make a lot of stars.
There's so many in that one.
Yeah. So.
And this one's great also, how you said on the other one, you could make it as small or as large as you want. You could make just the center. And it's 70 inches square, fat eighth friendly. And I would say intermediate.
And it was a Moda boxed kit. I would say.
Yeah, I would think.
At least
just
confident
looking at it.
beginner. Yeah. So yeah, this was definitely a favorite. And gelato, I love gelato. There's no place in Las Vegas where I've found a good gelato like I can get in Southern California, down in Laguna Beach. And so I just love to go down there and get gelato, so I had to make a gelato quilt.
Okay, I am sure in one of those high fancy casinos you can find some good gelato. Maybe I need to come down there and find some for you.
Yes, yes. If anybody knows any good gelato in Las Vegas, please tell me. Yeah, Billy just said you got to go to the Strip, Mom.
Yeah, I know. You probably hate that because it's so touristy, but that's like my favorite place in the whole world. And I know that sounds horrible, but I love Vegas. I just like to watch the people and look at all the fancy stuff, and everyone's all dressed up.
Yeah, I was actually just down there this weekend. Billy gave my husband and me tickets to a Golden Knights game, so we got to walk around a little, and just the energy being down there is really fun.
Okay, so who's the Golden Knights?
They're the hockey team in Las Vegas.
Okay.
Yeah,
I should know that.
It was my first time going to a hockey game.
The Super Bowl is here this year too.
Yeah, Super Bowl is in a few weeks in Las Vegas.
Oh, it is?
So this, yeah. So this is Happy Go Lucky, and this might be my favorite quilt. I don't know. This really might be it. And I just wanted to make something really fun and really scrappy. It's with our Simply Delightful collection, and it just lent itself to a scrappy quilt. But I also wanted people to be able to use their stash, and it's been really fun to see all the quilts that people have made with this pattern, just using stuff in their stash. So it's been super fun. And also, just a teaser, I have a companion pattern for this coming out in March.
Awesome. And then we're going to show the one that I made. I basically replicated yours completely.
Okay.
And this was This was fun because on Reddit, I'm always on Reddit. So I was on Reddit and someone posted a picture and had made this. And so remember, Sherri, I sent you a text and was like, oh my gosh, somebody on Reddit made it.
Yeah, you sent me that and I can't remember what I put on the back. Oh, the backing was actually from Seashore Drive. Sometimes I get my right or Emma. Okay, yeah. Sometimes I get my quilts done and I use other collections for the backing if I run out of what I'm sewing with at the time. But yeah, that's definitely one of my favorites. And I'm actually sewing Happy Go Lucky 2 right now, so that's what's on my sewing table.
Okay, they say the Venetian has amazing gelato.
Ooh.
The Venetian gelato. Okay. Thank you.
That was quick.
That was quick. Yeah. Did you hear that, Billy? They said for me to go to the Venetian.
Billy's like, I told you it would be on the strip.
I think the last one out of the quilts you showed was my favorite.
Happy Go Lucky. Billy said Happy Go Lucky is his favorite.
But some other ones you made me that you made me, I like.
Okay.
The one I use.
So this is Potluck, and it was one of my early patterns. My first version of it I made with the Sweetwater collection, and it's a layer cake, and you actually don't have to add the Dresden block if you lower it just a touch.
Yeah, lower it.
The layer cake will make everything, but if you want it to get done more quickly, you can leave that out and just replace it with layer cake square. But this one, it has been really fun to see in all different collections. I also made a Christmas version of this.
Yeah, you did.
With the Swell Christmas collection by Urban Chicks that was really fun.
So cute.
But yeah, it's just
Yeah.
great way to use a layer cake. So I had to share this one. And this is with Emma. So.
And it's also got a gray backing. I think you used that backing twice.
Yeah.
And that one comes in 2 sizes, a baby size and a throw size, and they're both layer cake friendly.
Yes. Yeah, when I updated that pattern, I just thought this would be so great as a baby quilt because you could something fast and fun that you can get ready to give as a gift. And so I added that size when I updated the pattern.
Awesome. So that's all the quilts, right?
Is that all the quilts, Billy? Yeah. Hey, remember
Oh,
that
Made with
one that I
Love.
told them I was going to share? Made
Oh,
with Love.
Made with Love.
I think it's upstairs. Could you go get it? It's just that little wall hanging with the hearts. It's probably in my sewing room or just in the hallway.
Yeah, that one was so cute.
Yeah, I just finished it with strawberry lemonade.
Very
and,
cute.
You guys have so many fun free patterns, and I love sharing them on my blog and stuff. And when I went to make it, my first thought was that I was going to use Sincerely Yours.
Yeah.
Oh,
But then
yeah.
I thought, because I still have scraps, but then I was like, no, I have to make this with strawberry lemonade because the reds and the pinks are perfect for Valentine's. So hopefully he can find it. I had it out. I showed everybody yesterday when we did our sound check. So
Yeah, so talking about free patterns, do you want to talk about the free block of the month that you offer on your blog each year? Just because I think it's great. Because
Yes.
it's, a free resource for everybody.
yeah, so every year I do a free block of the month, and we release the patterns on the first Monday of every month, and they're free. And I have a setting. Sometimes I have a couple settings. This year we're doing a 16-inch and an 8-inch size. So I'll hold this up.
That's so
this
pretty.
This is the fat quarter shot made with love. I had so much fun, and
I love it.
yeah, strawberry lemonade. But on the back, I did use Simply Delightful. We had a pink that works. If you still have some of that around, it will work with strawberry lemonade.
I love it in strawberry lemonade. So cute.
And that one, what I loved about it when I pieced it was so quick. I think I made it in like 2 hours or something. It was so quick.
Yeah, same. I think I made it, just a couple hours on a Saturday morning and just loved it.
Do y'all want to talk about blockheads and, Moda Blockheads program, what you guys are sewing?
Yeah, we're both Moda Blockheads designers, and you haven't shared your blog
I
yet.
haven't shared mine yet.
Okay, I've shared both of mine already, so I'm kind of done sharing, but
Now you get to just sew.
I get to just sew, and the sew along is going through July, so it's never too late to join in. And every week you get a block in 12-inch or 6-inch, and the patterns are all free from Moda. And I'm using strawberry lemonade, but I'm gonna at some point switch, and the next collection is going to be in with it.
She's trying to be so careful right now. It's so hard for her.
So mine is gonna end up having 2 different collections in it, but right now all you're seeing is the strawberry lemonade.
So are you gonna sew it, Chelsi?
Yes,
Okay.
I am gonna try to get caught up now that the new year is here, and I just finished up some deadlines with said coming collection. So yeah, and I am really, really excited about my block too. I love it so much. I actually loved it so much. I thought, I wish I would have saved that for like a pattern. It's so cute. So I'm really excited about it.
Awesome. So I'm going to kind of go through some things that I noticed just to kind of that I'm curious about. And then I'm going to go through questions that came in throughout the live stream and then the ones that came in before. What techniques, I noticed in a lot of your quilts, you've got half square triangles, hourglass, you have a lot of traditional blocks. Are there any techniques you would recommend that make your quilts go easier, or anything that you use throughout all your quilting?
Well, I am a convert to triangle paper. I really resisted for a long time, and I was actually in Dallas, I think it was 2019, and I was with some other Moda designers, and I was making these half square triangles all just like one at a time, the 2 at a time method,
right,
where you draw, and they were looking at me and they were all like, why aren't you using triangle paper? And I asked each one of them, and they were all like, yeah, use triangle paper. So I'm such a, I had to test it out. So
Right.
I made 16 half square triangles with triangle paper and then 16 my way. And they were right.
Oh.
It was faster with the paper.
Did you
So
time it?
I timed it. I'm so weird. So I did, and I did it in my hotel room that night. And then I went back the next day, and we were all teaching at a retreat. And I was just like, well, you guys are right. I timed it. So,
That's
oh my
so funny.
goodness.
so yeah.
This is so you. I love it.
Yeah. So love triangle paper, and the funny thing was, I had triangles on a roll that you had sent me.
Yeah.
And so then it was great because then I was like, oh, I have this size already. I can use it. And because you have about every size there is. So,
Yeah.
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 Chelsea, is there anything that you use throughout all your quilts?
I feel like I've used triangle paper, and definitely if I'm going to do half square triangles,
What about
that
Doug's ruler?
Doug's ruler is
Yes.
a good one. Yeah.
Yeah,
for
and
the
somebody
EPC,
asked
and
about that.
actually,
Yeah, talk about
yeah,
the ruler
and
name.
actually, easy corners. That's like actually what I prefer to do. You'll notice a lot of my patterns. That's the technique I use, and I have two sizes. It's both of them. He only has the two, right?
Right.
Yeah, and yeah, Doug's is actually the one I use.
Yeah, I think it's the simple folded corner ruler and then the
Simple folded. Yeah.
Mini simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like I use that mini size the most, and I probably use it weekly. I think
I use that one the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you gave me that one. Yeah.
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 Are there any notions that you just like can't live without?
Oh.
Okay, so I have to tell you, I just tried a new one.
Okay.
And my friend Nancy Lane, she's Treehouse Quilts on Instagram. She told me that she likes the magic quilting spray that you all carry.
Oh,
And
okay.
I ordered 3 bottles of it, and I tested it out yesterday for the first time, and I love it. It's not a heavy starch, but it gives a little body. And I really enjoyed it. I was making a log cabin block yesterday, so I tested it out, and I was super happy with it. I'm glad I ordered 3 bottles.
So you don't starch, right? That was another question that had come in.
No, I don't
Yeah, I
starch.
believe it.
But she was telling me she doesn't starch either, but she really thought this was a good option if you don't want to take the time.
Right.
Kind of an in-between, yeah. And I'm super happy with it.
I love what is that ruler called? The one with the cutout lines in it.
Stripology?
Oh my goodness.
Stripology.
Yes, the Stripology ruler. I love that. But then also another one is the tape. The
diagonal
sew.
seam tape.
yes,
sew.
and that I'm always telling people about. I love that.
Yeah, I actually keep that tape on my sewing machine all the time.
Yeah.
Just to help me when I
Yeah,
need it.
even if you have like the foot or whatever.
Yeah.
I still have the tape.
Yeah, I feel like I do that too. Like I use the foot plus the tape. I mean, it's like use all of the things.
Right, exactly.
And I feel like that attributes to like I just want that to be the perfect quarter inch. Like
What brand of rulers do you use? Do y'all use the same rulers? Do you have a favorite size?
I feel like I use Creative Grids.
Creative Grids for sure.
Mostly, yeah. I do have a Quilter Select ruler that I really like because it does not slip.
Right.
Yes. I love that ruler. I just got it. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we actually got
It really
a couple
doesn't
new ones
slip.
at market, and it does not move.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah.
One thing I did notice is y'all's borders. They seem to be about the same size. Is there like a standard border size in all of your patterns? I feel like it's like 3.5, 4.5.
I feel like I started out using 5-inch borders, and then I think I started using smaller ones when Chelsea started designing patterns
because I use smaller.
Because she used smaller, and and sometimes she didn't even put a print border at all. She would use just the solid fabric. But I feel like the past few months I've kind of been easing them up a little bit bigger again. So
You have.
Yeah.
And borders was always really tricky for me because I didn't want a print border for some reason. And mom converted me. She always has every single color of a border in her quilts. And I'm like, that stresses me out. Like, I just want white space
Right.
and a binding. But no, now I'm slowly doing more of a print border.
Yeah.
But yeah, I noticed I do normally the same size on all my borders. So
Okay, so what's the size?
I'm usually 3.5 inches.
Yeah.
That's always like the standard for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And mine are usually about an inch bigger. maybe
Yes,
four.
yours are always bigger than mine.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
And I don't know, is that because like you want to show off like more of those florals, like more of it?
Yeah, and I feel like too, if I'm having custom quilting done, I want to give
true.
her more space
Yeah.
to do her little swirly stuff in the border.
The feathers,
Yeah,
yeah.
Val Krieger does all my custom quilting, and I feel like I just want to give her space. So